was a shadow in the government's game. Pawn as a child with no face and no name. They stole my past to leave me cold and alone. Always searching for a place that could go home. I was lost in the dark, just a tool in the hand, till she pulled me close and helped me understand. Now the fire inside is starting to rise. I can see the truth through 1,000 lies. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's the magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hellhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. In the dead of the night, I can hear the call. All the ghosts of my past scratching through the wall. My eyes change colors, the power has grown. With Crowley the hound, I am never alone. I used to be hollow, a man made of glass, but now I am reclaiming every year that has passed. Every memory is falling right back into place. I know every name and I remember every face. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's a magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hell beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. I ain't running no more, yeah, I'm ready to fight. Gonna settle that debt in the depth of the night. They tried to break me, they tried to erase, but they can't hide the blood from the scars on my face. The veil is thin and the engine is hot. I'm taking back everything that they thought I forgot. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's the magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a tailhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. I remember it all now. Every single face, I'm calling for you in the dead of the night.
Hello, everybody. My name's Henry, in case you don't know. For those of you that do, welcome back. Tonight, I'm going to take you back to a little small village. It don't exist anymore. There's only a few houses there. And if you knew where to look, you'd see a few foundations of buildings that once were. But I'll tell you, the name of this town, village, whatever you want to call it, was called Jalapa. 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 Sounds kind of strange for a town, but I've heard worse names. This town, it bragged of having a church. It didn't have a post office. You had to go just up the road to the other town. But boy, did they have some saloons. They had 5 saloons. A couple of little hardware stores, a couple of regular little stores. They had a blacksmith shop, a flour mill. They even had an elevator. Well, of course, upstairs in the saloon, upstairs where they had the soiled doves. That's them ladies of the night. Yes, they did exist a long time ago. Well, any given nighttime, you might go in there and belly up to the bar or go up and have a rendezvous with the soiled doves. But you walked out there on that street, hell, there might be two old boys out there back to back taking 10 paces apart, turn around and shoot each other. One of them old boys got mad because he had to wait his turn with the soiled dove of his choosing. Other man cut in line, he just pig-sticking. It was a rough town. The Faint of Heart never went there. But like I said, that was a long time ago. That started in the 1800s and went up to the early 1900s, and then just like the old western towns, out west, one by one, people either died off and buried in that cemetery right there on the hill. Those that was a little stronger lasted a little longer, but eventually the town just kind of dried up and blew away. So unless you really knew what you was looking for, you'd never guess that that was one wild town in the Midwest. I mean, it was wild. It was so wild that the devil wouldn't even want to go there and get him a cold drink, play a hand of Red Dog, or mess with one of them soiled doves. It was just a bad place. Like I said, though, it dried up and blew away. But there's still remnants if you know where to look. And there's also some ghosts that you'll see if you was to ever go there. Well, this story takes place in the old village of Jalapa. Now, as you all know, I was a test tube child in the projects. I was in several projects. Pegasus, just to name one. I was in the Montauk projects. Rainbows. I know it sounds silly. No, it wasn't Rainbows. It was Project. Anyway, I was also in Phoenix 1 through 4 and a lot of other projects. I did go back in time to get information on the Philadelphia experiment, watched, took mental notes, brought them back for the projects. But they used to have a term, they used to threaten me as I got older. Because I started kind of trying to buck the system. And I paid dear for it, many a time. But every so often, I'd get a froggy hair and decide what the hell. What are they going to do, kill me? And they'd always threaten that they're going to turn the dogs loose. Now, their meaning of turn the dogs loose, meaning if I was out on one of these missions, that they'd turn something that was just as ornery as me and had a lot of the same gifts. And their job was to hunt you and find you. They told me all kinds of things. Well, it just so happens, in tonight's story, you're going to find out what the meaning of the word is, turn the dogs loose. I had got away from the projects, away from my handlers. I wanted a normal life. Well, thanks to the help of a dog man, we helped each other. We got away. I was on the run for a long time and still kind of keeping a low profile. I don't want to go back. Too old for this shit. Besides that, when they get done with you, they usually deep six you. There's still a few things I want to do. A few more things I want to experience. Besides that, who gives them the right to play God? Say when I should be terminated. Sure now didn't give them that right. I don't remember signing no paper. And this particular night, I'd been away from the project quite a long time. And they was looking. So I tried to be in places where they wouldn't think about looking. You wouldn't catch me at a bar. You wouldn't catch me messing around in some big city. Because that's where they was probably going to be looking. It just so happens this night, they managed to pinpoint where I was at. I had no clue until it happened. But I was a little restless one night and decided to go to the Jalapa Cemetery. It's in the Midwest. It was a little cemetery. It sets up off the road. Got a pond down there just before you go into the cemetery off there to your right. Nice looking little pond. Probably at one time it was really gorgeous back there, but in any case, I grabbed my camera and I decided they wouldn't find me in that cemetery. I had to have something to do besides work. I need a little bit of leisure time, or as some of these people call it, me time. Just to go unwind. So I drive out to this cemetery. I turned to the left there, took that little gravel road up the hill a little bit and back on in there. And I knew the people that lived around there. I'd already let them know I was going to be in there. They was like, "You crazy as hell." I said, "Dude, who would bother you in a cemetery other than maybe the ghost?" But that's what I was looking for. That was my hobby. One of them. So I go up there, and I should have known something was going to be off when I pull up to these double gates. And they're just homemade metal gates. Just made out of pipe. And somebody took some woven wire and attached it to the fence. And they wrap a chain around it. So I pulled up there and got out and had to water the back tire. I got done. I grabbed my camera, headed to the gate. Before I got to the front of the vehicle, that gate that I knew was chained shut somehow had come open and swung open, and both them gates hit the bumper of my truck. That right there should have been a sign for me to get the hell out of there. But I just chucked it up to somebody didn't know how to latch that gate. Sounds logical to me. That's what you tell yourself to keep from scaring the shit out of yourself, see? You come up with some rational reason. Well, I stepped through the gate there and pulled them shut, put the chain around them, and put them in a little eye hook, little notch cut out, and you turn that chain, slide it in there, and that holds it shut. So, I'm walking in this cemetery, looking around, trying to find a really good place to sit down and maybe catch me a cat nap while I was waiting. Well, I found two big, giant old cedars. Well, and I walk over there, I noticed there was a concrete deal about, 5, 6, 8 inches tall maybe. And it went right in front of this one cedar tree, and there was a couple of tombstones. That's what they call a family plot. So I thought, well, might be a good place to sit. I can sit up there and see. The cemetery was kind of like a hump, a long hump. And I was up there where I could see down to there and see on both sides. At the far end of this cemetery, go all the way to the back of the cemetery to your left, there was an outhouse there. And not very often do you see an outhouse in a cemetery, but there was one there. So I thought, well, hell, if I'd known that, I went down there and went to the bathroom. A good idea to remember, though, because if a 10-200 comes on, I know where to head. I'll just have to grab the roll of toilet paper out of the truck. Because there probably ain't no toilet paper down there, and I sure as hell ain't gonna go out there and ski on my ass like some dog. So I'm sitting there, get all stretched out, and got my camera ready. And it's a digital camera. Just a cheap digital camera. That's all I ever use to take these pictures. Well, I'm sitting there, and about ready to doze off. Like I said, I'm sitting in a family plot there, and there's probably about 8, 9 tombstones there. Some big, some small. I'm just about ready to doze off, and I hear this little girl. And I'm thinking, am I dreaming this? So I just sat there and didn't move. And I heard that little girl. Mommy, I'm getting tired. Can we go home? Mom was like, shh. There's somebody over there sitting. So I just kind of turned my head in that direction. Well, I didn't see nothing. But that's the direction it come from. So I'm sitting there and I hear what sounds like one of them old-time big dresses, like Scarlett would have wore, it had that real ruffly sound, So I'm watching, and I see between these two tombstones, probably about 50 foot from me, I see something dark behind one. So I turn a little bit more where I can watch. Well, I hear the little girl again. There's somebody over there sitting. Reckon he's asleep? And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I see a little head peek up over yonder there by a tombstone. But then I see a bigger head pop up. And now there's two heads peeking over this big, huge tombstone. I'm watching them. They're watching me. All I can see is probably like from the chin up. And then when they start talking, they turn and look at each other. What do you think he's doing over there, Mom? She goes, I don't know, but be quiet. He might be awake over there. But Mom, I'm getting tired. She goes, shh, be quiet. He'll hear you. You know we're going to go home here shortly. And I'm thinking, who in the hell, besides me, would be in that cemetery with a little girl? Why would a mom bring a girl out here at nighttime? So I'm thinking, damn, I ain't the only crazy ass out here. So I'm sitting there, they're watching me, I'm watching them, and I ain't moving that much. See, that's military training, you know, when you're hunting somebody, you can stay hid longer, providing you don't do a lot of moving. Just that, and a lot of times they'll overlook you. But in this case, them two ghosts, they seen me. So I'm sitting there watching. And then it dawned on me. Do you reckon maybe I'm sitting in the family plot and that's where they're trying to get to? Well, I hear that little girl, Mom, I'm tired. She goes, be quiet. So I'm like, well, I don't be an ass. Might have a better chance if I get up and just kind of mosey away from that spot. Maybe that's where they was going to. So I get up. I walk on to the middle of the cemetery. As I'm walking, they're going around giving me a wide berth. So, like, okay. But I could see them. They'd gone from tombstone to tombstone, and they'd stop and look. They looked solid. But who in the hell besides me would be out there with a woman with a little girl? So I figured it has to be a ghost. So I'm like, well, I'll wait, get a picture of them. While I'm sitting there watching, and I can see them go from tombstone to tombstone. They was probably about 6-7 foot from where I was sitting. And there was a gap there between the rows of tombstones, and they had to go across there, and that's when I was going to snap a picture. I heard a crackling and a buzzing noise, and I knew what that was. The hair on my back started standing up and on my head, and I started getting that funny feeling. And I got my camera ready. So I'm going to get a picture of them. But this sound that I'd heard many times before. Do I take the risk, snap the shot, and take a chance on getting pounced on? Or do I forget the money shot and turn around and take a picture in that direction? Well, I decided my scalp was worth more money to me than it was to whatever was getting ready to happen right behind me, and I knew what it was. I stood up, turned around, and I snapped the picture, and the picture is the cover picture for this here, and you've seen them. It was a portal being opened. They had turned the dogs loose on me. And I don't mean dogs like in dog men or mean dogs. They turned their goons loose on me. They're creatures. Now, when you look at the photo, you're going to see several creatures coming through this portal. When I turned around and snapped a picture, and this camera would show the picture you just took. As soon as I hit that, the portal hadn't fully opened yet. So these beings that was in there wasn't fully materialized yet. They wasn't solid like me and you. And I knew I had so many seconds. And I looked at that picture, and I caught a glimpse of these things that was getting ready to walk out of that portal into our realm. It's a good thing I tried and got the photo, because nobody would ever believe me. Well, needless to say, as soon as I seen that photo I just took, I didn't waste no time. Because I knew the things coming through that portal, no matter what they looked like, I knew that was probably the dogs they had been talking about all them years. Now, either one, they was sent there to kill me and take me back, probably to revive me. And yes, they did a lot of that in Project 2, working with cadavers, bringing the dead back to life. I definitely didn't want to be brought back a second time. So, I got the hell out of there. I ran. I didn't bother opening the gate. I jumped that son of a bitch. I got in that truck and I got the hell out of there. So, years later, I went back to that cemetery again. But it was quite a long time before I went back there. It wasn't because of that little girl and that woman that I seen. It's because they turned the dogs loose on me. That ain't the first time they tried to off me, or catch me, or get me back. I didn't want to go back. I figured I'd done enough time. I wanted to experience things. Well, that wasn't the only time they opened up portals and tried to snag me, snare me, so to speak. But each time I tried to get a photo, because I was born in the projects. A lot of people don't even have a clue what a portal even looks like. They wouldn't know what a portal looks like until they done fell in it and they become a missing 411. I've got the photos. You've seen a lot of them. And yes, I was an asset. Still am. Just a missing asset. I never was one that cooperated willingly. I only done what I was told because I had to. But I had to be careful going to cemeteries, because they caught on that I would frequent cemeteries just to ghost hunt. I mean, I'd seen a lot of things in the projects, and all it did was make me more curious. So, I was always out there trying to get proof to show the people that either can't ghost hunt for whatever reasons, physical or whatever. I would go out there and risk it to bring photos back to show people. Like I said, you tell people that you got pictures of portals, they think you're crazy. I got the pictures. I used to open portals. It just so happened they opened them and turned the damn dogs loose on me. That was part of their game. Now, what they was going to do with it after they caught me, who knows? Maybe torture me for a while. Maybe kill me. Maybe make me wish I was dead. But I've always tried to stay one step ahead of them. But that night, I was there really to take a picture of any kind of spirit activity. And just so happens, my quarry was that little girl and her mom that I had watched going across the cemetery. And I was going to get the good photo. Things didn't work out. I had to get the hell out of there. I wasn't going to stick around and ask them if they'd replay again tomorrow night because I knew that my old handlers had done located me. It was time to get a photo and get the hell out of there. I was lucky to get that photo without getting caught. So, any of you people that go hiking at night or whatever, these portals, you'll never see them. You'll never see them. You'll just be walking and all of a sudden right in one and poof, you're gone. So just be careful when you're out there. If you're ghost hunting, which, that's what I was doing. So see how easy it can be? You go for a harmless ghost hunt, hoping to find a spirit, take a picture of, or see something move, get a picture of it. Had I not been around these portals and learned how to open them and use them, I'd have never knowed. But thank God I did know, because it saved my ass. I'll put it this way to you. In all the years I was in the projects, weapons wasn't what really saved my life. What saved my life was gut instinct. There's no shame in running when they turn the dogs loose. When you're in a cemetery or a house or whatever, you may not want to run like a madman. I know it's hard not to. But just be careful, because there's lots of stuff you can't see at the dark that can cause you to break a leg or break your neck. That night I didn't care. I knew what was coming, and I seen in that photo what was coming through there, and I shouldn't have, don't want to be here when it gets there. Because it wasn't just one. I ain't scared of no man alive. I don't fear man. But I don't care what any of these people tells you. You can probably handle yourself with one person or one being if you're lucky. But when they send a few of them, don't try to be the hero. Get the hell out of there. It don't make you a coward. It makes you smarter than the common monkey. Because I'm telling you, when you look at that photo and look at it really close, there was more than just one. And they wasn't coming there to have tea with me. So I did the best thing, which was get the hell out of there. Was I going to stick around and wait? Hell no, I wasn't. I knew if they sent these things after me, they were serious. And they wasn't going to send a person or a thing that couldn't take care of business. I didn't want what they were selling, so I got the hell out of there. And like I said, you have no clue on how crazy these people can be, and how you think, when you think of evil, you think of demons. I'd rather deal with a demon than these crazy fools. They done stuff that make a demon look like a choir boy. So, yeah, it's fun ghost hunting. I try to stay away from cemeteries, and because they know they might send them again. They might get the job done. That's another thing too. You can be the bravest person in the world, but You gotta remember one thing. These people are bad. You wouldn't stand a chance. If they decided you was somebody they wanted, you'd be gone in a heartbeat. And death would be a welcoming sight compared to what they'll do to you. Compared to the things I've experienced, there was many a time I thought death would have been a good idea. However, I went through all their tortures, barely, and I lived to tell the tale. But if I had a choice of the matter of repeating my life over, I'd be like, nope, I'll sit this one out. Now, I did get a good wife, but man, did I suffer to get it. To be still out and free, even though I can't go do a lot of things everybody else does, I get to experience life outside of the projects. Even though I have to try to stay kind of hid. Can't go do everything everybody else does, but it's better than being in a cage, chained to a bed. They just pull you out when they want you to do something, or do something to somebody. So, just be careful and be safe out there. You know, there's people go missing all the time, and I wouldn't want to see anybody suffer like I did. I sometimes have nightmares about it. But I'm thankful I made it through. I got a fairly decent life now. But it comes with a price. And I'll gladly bear that price till my number rolls around, whenever the hell that is. They figured I'd never ever make it as long as I have. And now to have, they probably wish I hadn't. Now I'm telling all you that are listening to this about their crazy asses. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that about that photo because never ever got to tell the full story of what I was really doing there. I mean, you all knew I was ghost hunting. We listened to some of the other stories. But that's what happened that night. It happened in what used to be a little town called Jalapa. So I'll say goodnight on this here. It's a little bit short. I might do another one here shortly. Been painting all day, doing some honeydews. We've been painting now for the past 2 days on the house, and my wife said she wanted the house painted, so she picked the colors and we started painting. The first day, you think, wow, this is great. Until the next morning you wake up and you're like, good goddamn. I got run over by how many horses? Hey, but it makes the wife happy, so we're going to get her done, and I'm going to try to keep videos coming, so just hang in there and bear with me, and I'll keep posting videos. So I'll get off here on this one here, and I might do another one. Y'all take care and be good to one another, and I hope you enjoy my stories. They're true. Like I said, you can look up this place. It's called Jalapa. It's only a few houses there now, but at one time it was a rip-roaring place. I mean, it's a place that You wanted to have a 6-shooter in one hand and your hand on your ass because you didn't know which one you might lose first or get shot at or get your scalp taken. It did exist. You go there, sit there in a vehicle. Don't tell them what you might see. There's all kinds of spooks there lingering around. So I'll talk to you on the next one. Y'all have a good night and thank you for watching. Subscribe if you ain't. Give me a thumbs up. Hell, leave me a message. We answer all messages, me and my wife. So, good night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.